This episode is part of the pool's Local Officials Stronger Together podcast series. It's one way we serve local officials through integrity, public service, fiscal responsibility, and operational excellence. As always, please direct specific questions about coverage to your member services manager.
Hi there, I'm Scott Houston, host of the Risk Pool's Local Officials Stronger Together podcast series. The pool has done our best to earn your trust by providing reliable liability, property, and workers' comp coverage and specialized services at stable rates for over 40 years. After 20 years as a TML attorney, I joined the TML Risk Pool in 2021. Last month, our executive director officially put me to work leading our communications team. The team has done great work sharing information you need to know through our monthly newsletters, blogs, and more. We now want to focus in on educating elected officials and management about all we have to offer. Number one, the Risk Pool isn't an insurance company. And number two, the pool is about so much more than just paying claims. We're partners and we're all in this together. And every time a member takes action to mitigate risk, it benefits not just you, but every other member. And in the podcast, we'll talk about issues that matter to you and give you easy action items to help keep your citizens, employees, volunteers, and property safe, all while saving public dollars. I asked Jeff Thompson, the Risk Pool's executive director, why he thinks this podcast is a great way to reach our members.
So these podcasts really come about over the last year or so, and what we've recognized is that they're a real effective way of reaching our membership. The amount of communication and the amount that you have on your desk every single day is a bit of an overload. So having the ability to listen at a time and at a point when you're ready to listen really is a much better way of reaching folks to get the main points. And of course, your member services managers and all of our staff are always here to answer your individual questions about you as an individual member. But these podcasts really give us another touch point with you that are very much intended to be a good use of your time and to not take up too much of your time in a way that might be difficult otherwise.
Okay, welcome back. I'm joined now by Stanley Jaglowski, Deputy Mayor Pro Tem for the City of Lancaster, Texas. Stanley contacted me last month wanting to speak about his experience with this podcast. So, welcome, Stanley. How long have you served the City of Lancaster?
I've been an elected official for the City of Lancaster, Texas since 2011. Lancaster does not have any term limits. I've had the unique opportunity to be able to serve District 2 for 10 plus years now. I thoroughly enjoy what I do, to give back to the community, and then having also a great opportunity to have an award-winning staff to implement those charges that are put before them.
Stanley first learned about what we sometimes call Maine TML the association. And after attending several TML events, he also ended up serving on a legislative committee for TML. And that's how we originally got to know each other. Stanley, tell me about how you came to learn about us here at the TML Risk Pool.
So the Risk Pool was introduced to me years ago at the fall conference. I find that the podcasts are very informative, not only for an elected official, but for staff members as well. Each one has always been very beneficial, very informative, beneficial for me. I do like the modern day technology with having it on podcast. It's convenient to do it any time. You can always refer back to it as a reference, as I have done just recently.
Thanks for the kind words, Stanley. Anything else you'd like to say?
Scott, I just wanted to say thank you for the opportunity to contribute to this podcast series. I'm honored and grateful to have this opportunity.
Okay, what we normally do now is go into our 3 action items for each subject-specific episode. But for today's promo, I'm going to do something a little different. When we come back, I want to give you my 3 favorite tidbits from my favorite episodes. Okay, here's my 3 favorite parts from different episodes. The first is from episode 1, which was actually the first promo we did. I interviewed Randy Criswell, chair of the pool's board of trustees and now city manager in Wolfforth, about why he got involved with the pool.
Well, I can tell you that I have a pretty long career in city government, and one of the things that always stuck in my mind, in fact, it was probably the single event that occurred to me professionally that made me want to do what I'm doing now with the pool, which is to participate at a level that I can make a difference. And that event occurred when I was city manager in Canyon, Texas. We had a very healthy safety program in Canyon, in my opinion. We were very aggressive about trying to provide our employees with training and encouragement and team building and everything that we could to promote safety in a workplace that we can feel good about. But we had a rash of minor accidents that could have been really, really bad over a period of about 3 months. As it turned out, those accidents were all fairly minor, but it concerned me as city manager greatly that we were somehow all of a sudden going in the wrong direction. And I reached out to the pool at the time, really not even fully understanding how big of a resource that was. And I reached out to the pool and I said, hey, I need a safety audit. Can you come to my city and walk through workplaces and buildings and job sites and spend some time with my people here and then tell me what I'm doing wrong? What are we doing wrong? What can we do better? That was probably the first time that I really recognized as a city manager that TMLRP was truly a partner in what we were doing.
The second is from our episode about vaccines and first responders. I interviewed the widow of Roger Dean, a 30-year-old Seguin firefighter who died from COVID-19 prior to vaccines being available. I asked Stephanie, his wife, what she would say to a first responder, or really anyone, about getting vaccinated.
One thing I'm going to say also is, if I can make it through, but when you're young, you don't think about death, and you don't think it can happen to you. Roger was 31 years old. We just bought our house. We just had a baby girl about 4 months before he got infected. And you don't think it can happen to you, but it can. It definitely can.
Stephanie's tale is as important as it is heartbreaking, and I was very honored to talk to her. Finally, in episode 6, we talked about just one of the pool's post-disaster turnkey recovery partners, Synergy NDS. These guys partner with us and can take a local government facility that's damaged or destroyed from nothing to up and running, all while managing all the procurement and paperwork, even FEMA regulations for you. And I interviewed the city manager of Mexia, Eric Garrity, about the issue. Mejia's library had just burned down, and he was trying to manage figuring out how to rebuild it.
You do understand what this turnkey program is? And I said, well, tell it to me again. And when she finally did, I said, and it finally clicked in my mind, I said, yeah, I want that. So everything after that is smooth sailing. The guys from Synergy NDS come out. I talked to Taylor. Taylor introduces me to the project manager who I had an instant rapport with. He literally moves his trailer behind the library, right? And so I've got a project manager on site, and we had a completely redone, brand new shell. People told me it looked better than it did when we had the original library.
Those are just 3 quick takes. We've got info on workers' comp, sewer backups, firearms, personnel issues, and a new risk pool loss prevention program aimed at preventing accidents around roads. The program is called Road Ready, and many, many more. So that's it for this special promotional episode. Keep in mind, we want to make things easy for you, so you can listen to this podcast anywhere, even in your car or on your mobile device. You can listen on the website, on Buzzsprout, and on any Apple podcast platform. Of course, as part of each episode, you'll be directed to our website for written materials and links with additional information on that episode's topic. I'm having a blast, so check out our past episodes if you haven't already, and sign up to get a notification when new ones are released.
To review written materials associated with the presentation or to ask Scott a question, please visit www.tmlirp.org and click on the Stronger Together podcast link. Please remember that the information in this episode is provided for informational purposes only and doesn't constitute legal advice. We recommend that you review the podcast and the accompanying written materials with your attorney prior to taking action.